Hello, denizens of the universe. I'm the Romance Scrooge, and joining me today are.
Enlightened robot.
And SL Nobody.
Crap. Okay. I have this brand new, very, very novel idea that absolutely nobody's seen before. Bowsette. What do you get when you put that super duper crown on anybody that's supposed to turn Toad into Peachette? It's such a novel idea. Let's stick it on Mario's rival. And there's a reason why I'm not a radio host, or why I never went into broadcasting. This is the exact reason why.
Well, I mean, I think the logic goes something like this. Boobs are sexy. Bowser is sexy. So combining the two, it's just sexy on sexy, obviously.
It really depends on what crowd you're talking to with that.
Are you kidding? You've been... I don't know. Sometime a long time ago, everybody on Tumblr just collectively decided that Bowser was the most sexual thing.
Considering it's also the same crowd that does the same thing to Waluigi.
Man, I'm so bummed I couldn't. Bummed I couldn't get a hold of Alpaca. I'd really like to know her opinion on Bowsette.
I don't know. For some people, I actually think the boobs lessen Bowser's sex appeal. For some people, hey, this is good. Hey, this is just coming from a guy who likes, I go both ways. Honestly, I can take either, but that's just me.
This just popped in my head, but Bowser is shown to be a good father to Bowser Jr., and people fawn over that whenever there's like scenes of Bowser being a good dad to Bowser Jr. People also fawn over Professor Venomous for being a good dad to Fink. Possible crossover, or maybe Dream Daddy seat crossover.
I mean, I see here that you're trying to use we're trying to use daddy in both and with both definitions of the word.
Let's not go there.
Just like I don't know. Like there was oh dear God. Thanks in part to Nobody, I wound up on a Harvey Birdman binge watch the other night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I actually ended up watching several episodes that I didn't watch before. And oh dear God, I feel sorry for Bird Girl. I'm only bringing this up because of the entire daddy thing.
Oh,
because,
that joke line with Colbert.
Yeah,
I just remember that.
Yeah, and I blame you, Nobody. You are the one responsible for this.
Yeah, that's fair.
Her. I don't know. She deserves a lot better.
I just remember that Bird Girl is voiced by Paget Brewster, who also is the voice of Elise in Dan Versus, and the voice of Huey, Dewey, and Louie's mom in the current DuckTales.
Huh. By the way, think you'll ever start up that interesting game that you had a couple years back, or that series of posts where you'd pick two characters or two franchises and try to find some way to connect them by voice actors, or who voice acted this character? Or...
Oh, it's always there, just not a whole lot of requests.
That's a shame. Because going down that kind of rabbit hole can drudge up some interesting stuff, like figuring out this person voices character you never would have expected.
Yeah, that is true. Like, for instance, the voice of Birdman in Harvey Birdman is the same guy who plays Bill Lumbergh in Office Space.
Huh.
And the guy who does the voice for Secret Squirrel in the Secret Squirrel episode is Bill Farmer, who is also the voice of Goofy. And the thing is you can't really tell unless you know ahead of time that that's Goofy. The voice of Secret Squirrel in the episode just sounds like Secret Squirrel.
Wait, I wonder. You think it was the same? You think this is the same? You think they used the same voice actor for when was it Johnny Bravo that also aired like new episodes of Secret Squirrel like between episodes? I feel like it was Johnny Bravo. You think it was the same voice actor there? I'm actually gonna look that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up Secret Squirrel. Secret Squirrel.
It's a little weird because my introduction to Secret Squirrel was not the original show at all. Well, actually, that's not weird at all.
He was an in between Two Stupid Dogs.
Two Stupid Dogs. That was it. Okay. Like I don't know. Like I'm a sucker for a lot of Hanna-Barbera shows, but I did not see. Excuse me. I did not see.
He was voiced by Jess Harnell in the Two Stupid Dogs series. With Jim Cummings as Morocco Mole.
I forgot that Secret Squirrel was a segment or a short bit thing for another cartoon. I've always remembered that as being its own thing.
It is, but when Cartoon Network was like doing their original airing and stuff and trying to find things that work, they had a whole bunch of experimental stuff, like airing old cartoons that Turner Broadcasting were able to acquire. And that's why there were such weird things with their newer shows, like that Scooby-Doo episode of Johnny Bravo that everyone's like, I remember that. Was that actually an episode or did I dream that?
I'm perfectly okay with that existing. That episode's great.
Two Stupid Dogs is also like that show. I think everybody remembers that as a Cartoon Network show, but it actually predates Cartoon Network by just a little bit. If anything, I think a lot of people who made Cartoon Network famous got their start working on Two Stupid Dogs, if I'm correct.
Right.
And it feels like a Cartoon Network show. Like by all accounts, I put it right next to like Johnny Bravo and Dexter's Laboratory in terms of like the type of style it was like trying to do.
And then of course there's the meme that started from it. It's like, oh, how adorable. But it's wrong. Let's see, if I remember right, the era of Two Stupid Dogs also had Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Lab, Cow and Chicken, I.R. Baboon, and I Am Weasel. Sheep in the Big City, Lou and Og, and the Powerpuff Girls. That was and Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Sheep in the Big City is the definition of underappreciated.
I always remembered that show. But I always remember it along with Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I vaguely remember Sheep in the Big City.
I don't know. It's a show. It's unique. Is probably the best way of putting it. Like obviously it's a very good show. A lot of the shows that were airing at that time were just good in general. But
it's one of those shows that you remember but don't really remember. Kind of like Whatever Happened to Robot Jones.
I was just thinking about that one.
I
remember enjoying that as a kid. Tried revisiting it a couple of years ago, and oh man, it was kind of painful.
Yeah, some shows don't really age too well.
I don't
Well,
know what it
right.
was. I think it was more the pacing than anything else. I like the art style and the character designs and the overall art direction. Those elements I really liked, but the pacing was just.
Yeah, I feel like if they had more time to work on it, they probably could have made it something. But for some reason, Cartoon Network just hates robots.
What makes you say that?
Whatever happened to Robot Jones, Robot Boy, Robot Apocalypse, Symbiotic Titan?
Crap, and I just changed back my username. Now I'll never be hired by Cartoon Network. Oh no.
They're robophobic.
They're scared the robots will be taking their CEO positions.
Speaking of Robotocalypse, that was a darn shame. That was such a weird, absurd show. Like,
Kind of makes me think of like Super Jail.
yeah, the biggest thing I wondered about it was, why is this premiering on the main channel? Why not ship this over to Adult Swim? I'll bet it would have done fantastic on there.
Probably for the same reason why Problem Solvers ended up on Cartoon Network. There's some, I can't remember who exactly it was, but there was some higher up who kept finding a lot of these cartoons pitched for Adult Swim as, oh, hey, we can put that on the main channel instead of Adult Swim. Because that's how Problem Solvers ended up on the main channel, even though it hurts oh dear God. The show hurt my eyes. That's the biggest thing I remember about Problem Solvers.
Luckily, it was the time of the era that I didn't have easy access to a TV, so I didn't get to watch Problem Solvers. But I've heard the stories.
In regards to Problem Solvers, I've developed a bit of a soft spot for it over the years. It was a 16-person team working on it. And Cartoon Network was branching out and trying some experimental stuff. To be honest, I think that particular cartoon was much better suited for just a weird one-off series of webtoons or something. I remember coming back to watch an episode several years later, and yeah, I think it'd probably be a good idea to tone down on all the bright colors and stuff, but just having a weird, ridiculous, surreal show there, it could fit a really specialized niche. I don't know. It's just inoffensive enough and quirky and weird in its own right. There's an audience for it somewhere. I don't think I'd be part of that audience, but I just can't hate it.
Perhaps that is actually a decent point, but like I said, the only thing I remember about it was my eyes in pain. Like, literally in pain.
Another interesting thing about the studio that produced Problem Solvers, I remember reading an article about their particular art style or approach. They were trying to do something a bit different, or they were trying to develop their own unique art style and put some interesting pieces and such out there. I'll have to look them up again.
Excuse me. I'm worried about bringing up sheep in this big. I'm just gonna be honest here. I'm worried about bringing up sheep in the big city again because I did have something to say about it, but then the conversation changed, so I don't know.
Go ahead and bring it up again.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is that compared to like whatever happened to Robot Jones or anything, I actually revisited Sheep in the Big City somewhat recently, and I actually think it holds up pretty well, especially since like the big thing now, especially with like Rick and Morty and Deadpool, is like a lot of this very self-referential humor, and Sheep in the Big City was made of that. And if you're into that type of like fourth wall breaking meta jokes and stuff like that, Sheep in the Big City I cannot recommend enough. On top of that, it has a art style that kinda sorta looks like coffee house paintings, if you get what I mean. Like, it looks like something that you'd have hanging on the wall of like a local independent coffee shop. And the way it's formatted kind of sort of resembles the original Rocky and Bullwinkle. There were these like vague commercial breaks between the episodes. There was a lot of puns. Dear God, if you like puns, this is another thing for you. I don't know. I think it holds up, and that's what I wanted to say about it. Watch even Big City. It's good. It's probably even better than you remember.
This kind of makes me think of the Courage the Cowardly Dog episode where he goes into the city and he's going through all those different doors that apparently lead to different horrors.
I remember that episode.
Let's see. Question. What are your most hyped animated movies for 2019?
I'm going to go ahead and look up 2019 movies because I actually haven't been keeping up with trailers.
Already have.
I mean, like, I know there's that Littlefoot thing, which looks...
I think
it looks like it'll be decent. I don't think it's going to be like my favorite movie of the year or anything, but it looks decent. That's probably something I'm going to like, catch on DVD one day and be like, you know what? I totally don't regret watching it.
Let's see. According to Google, a quick search for animated movies 2019.
Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Yes. Also, How to Train Your Dragons 3. Finally. Lego Movie 2. Toy Story 4. Frozen 2. Wonder Park, The Secret Life of Pets 2, The Angry Birds Movie 2, Sonic the Hedgehog. Shrek 5.
Shrek 5?
Oh, dear God. Wait, Frozen 2 is coming out 2019? That's sooner than I was expecting. Huh. I don't know. In terms of, like... Okay, so in terms of movies that I am personally, like, excited for, believe it or not, it's Detective Pikachu. Like, it's gonna be stupid. I have no doubt in my mind it's gonna be stupid. But they got Alex Hirsch on the writing team. They got Ryan Reynolds playing Detective Pikachu. Whether it's surprisingly good or really bad, I kind of just want to watch it.
It's like it's like watching a train wreck.
There's a sequel to the Angry Birds movie.
Yep.
Did it break even at the box office to merit this existing?
I think it did pretty well enough that the studio was like, oh, yeah, let's make another one. I mean, they're doing the same thing with The Secret Life of Pets.
Oh, I have even better news. Norma the North 2 is slated for 2019.
Oh, dear God.
They're making a second one.
The Addams Family.
Oh, I'm actually excited for that one. Passively excited, but still excited nonetheless. It's been forever because there's been like a project just behind the scenes and it's been like in production hell since forever. Lego Movie 2 looks good. I'm actually really interested in seeing that. Considering to bring it into space, though, I'm wondering how many people are just going to make Guardians of the Galaxy jokes throughout the entire thing.
Son of a bitch, they're making a Sandu Forum movie. And an Osumatsu-san movie. And a Yuri on Ice movie. Damn it.
Transformers Beast Wars.
Yeah!
That actually sounds kind of promising. Might be half tempted to go see that one.
Wait, there's a Transformers Beast Wars movie coming up?
Supposedly.
I wonder if...
I love that series.
I wonder if Shrek 5 is the reason why I wonder if Shrek 5 was greenlit because the meme made it popular again.
Who knows?
I don't know. I didn't want a Shrek 5. I like Shrek. I do like Shrek. I like Shrek 2. Shrek 4 even has a few good moments in it, but dear God, we don't need another one. We really don't.
Never saw Shrek 4. My brother and I saw Shrek 3, and we were like, yeah, this isn't good.
I think it's probably the closest DreamWorks has to has to a series that they can endlessly milk. They got to have something to keep up with Disney on the sequel front.
Kind of like Blue Sky Studios with Ice Age.
Yeah.
Or Illumination with Despicable Me.
Yeah.
Blue Sky is owned by Disney now.
Blue Sky.
That was with Fox.
Technically, yes.
Yeah, Blue Sky was owned by Fox.
Oh,
I don't know. Every time I look more into the Disney Fox acquisition, I just kind of sort of realize that, like, oh my God, Disney's going to take over the world. This isn't like, I don't know, like, I think I've said this before, but this isn't like Disney buying out Marvel or even Lucasfilms. This is the equivalent to Disney buying another Disney. So I don't know. Simpsons is Disney. Family Guy is frickin' Disney.
Oh no.
Oh geez, Mick. Did you really need to buy that Fox studio? I want it all, Goofy. I want everything. What do you mean everything? Everything. The mouse is trying to fill the void after the death of his parent. But material goods will not do you any good, mouse. Only enlightenment. As such, do not release Frozen 2.
I want to round back to that. I actually want to round back to that particular discussion, actually.
Minecraft is a movie?
Yeah.
Is anyone else going to go see Frozen 2 in theaters? I'll admit it. I'm going to. I'm more curious.
Probably, though it depends.
I was one of the saps that ended up watching the Frozen quote-unquote short before Coco last year.
I know. I saw Coco just before they removed it. And I was like, damn it, if only I waited a little bit longer, I could have seen Coco without watching that Frozen mini movie.
Oh man. The short itself was okay. I just questioned why they I'm not gonna get into that though. Not gonna poke at that particular mess. All I know is that if there's another showing of Book of Life or Coco that pops up in theaters, I am there.
I think they are working on a second Book of Life.
I hope so.
Disney needs to do Coco justice and put a Coco short in front of Frozen 2.
I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately, but I'd be...
Probably not.
Maybe pleasantly surprised, though. You never know. That'd be fantastic.
The Trials and Tribulations of Ernesto de la Cruz.
Heck, why not? I would love to see a short following him, like him reconnecting with his family down in the land of the dead, and just a couple of domestic shorts with him and the rest of the family or something. Then preparing for the next Day of the Dead or something.
Him being scared even more so of bells. I just love the fact that someone posted a screenshot of the janitor from the beginning of the movie, and it was like, the real hero of the film, ladies and gentlemen.
Tristan R says Disney now has the rights to Alien. Make of that what you will. That's actually a little interesting now that I think of it, because keep in mind, Disney has a history with Alien. I'm not kidding.
They do?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. It's particularly in the parks, because anybody remember in the park there was once a ride called extraterrestrial encounter. It was a ride that I unfortunately never got a chance to see. The big thing that with that, the reason why that ride existed in the first place was because Disney had bought the theme park rights to the Alien movies. Then they got the first concept art and the first ideas for the ride, and they discovered, oh my gosh, we cannot put this ride in a Disney park. So they redid the thing with the original character. They put out the ride called Extraterrestrial Encounters. It still scared the crap out of a lot of people, so they eventually revamped that into Stitch's Great Escape, which is basically the same ride but themed after Lilo and Stitch. And because they still had the rights to the Alien movies, Alien is actually one of the featured movies in the Great Movie Ride, which unfortunately is going to be torn down soon.
What is that?
Actually, I don't know.
To make way for
I'm
the
allowed.
closing section.
No, it's not. It's better than that. They're making a Mickey Mouse ride. Which is actually a good thing because Mickey Mouse, believe it or not, does not have his own attraction at any of the Disney parks. So this is going to be the first time an actual ride is themed around Disney's central mascot character. Which does genuinely sound like a good thing. The only issue with this is, even though from a business standpoint, I totally understand where all of this is coming from, and I even think this falls in line with Walt Disney's own philosophy of keep moving forward. I'm gonna miss the Great Movie Ride. That was a big part of my childhood. That was one of my favorite rides. So I'm still kind of sad at that. I don't know. I'm very mixed on the thoughts because I'm definitely not against the new Mickey Mouse ride. But I'm gonna miss the Great Movie Ride.
No,
Definitely agree with you on that. That's one of the few rides everybody in my family would actually go on the couple of times we went to Disney World. Everybody liked it. One ride that everybody universally liked. That's saying a lot.
Actually, Tristan R., I'm pretty sure it's actually Sojourner Weaver who is the Disney princess here, not the alien himself.
Though Mad Munchkin did draw a picture of the xenomorph in a Disney princess dress.
I do want to say that even though it's a queen, you could pull the technicality that Elsa's a queen, but she's still considered a Disney princess. So, as far as the terms are concerned, I'm going to say yes, the Xenomorph Queen is a Disney princess. Because the mental image of that creature or character being put in the lineup next to all these really cartoonish, friendly-looking, big-eyed, cute Disney princesses is freaking hilarious.
I'm back. I had to leave for a moment. What happened? What we're talking about now?
So, speaking of Disney princesses, Wreck-It Ralph 2 coming out soon.
Fun stuff.
Oh! Shoot, I had something about this. I'm just trying to bring back my minds about everything with the Disney princess thing because, well, on one hand, like Matt Pat started talking about it, and I recently discovered something about the Disney princess franchise. Oh yeah, here's what it is. Who are the two most recent Disney princesses?
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah, who? Just take a guess. If you've seen the video, then don't guess. Like officially, who are the two most recent official Disney princesses?
That would
Isn't
be
it Anna and Elsa?
Merida and
Oh
Tiana.
yeah, duh. How can I forget about Moana?
Moana's not a Disney princess.
She's not?
Actually, yeah. Same thing with Anna and Elsa. They are not Disney princesses. All three of them are not Disney princesses. At least from a franchise perspective.
Oh,
Under
okay.
the official Disney told under the official Disney princess line. Let me bring it up to see who are the official ones. Belle, Rapunzel, Ariel, Tiana, Snow White, Cinderella, Aurora, Merida, Pocahontas, Jasmine, and Mulan. So Frozen, not Disney princess related. Moana, also not Disney princess related. And apparently the reason why Moana and Frozen have made too much money. They sell better under their own banner as opposed to the Disney princess banner. So Disney decided not to group them with the princesses in any official capacity. So they're still going to put them in with cameos with the other princesses, like in Wreck-It Ralph, and on that one show on Playhouse Disney, Disney Junior, not Playhouse Disney. I don't know anything about that show, but they're still set to appear cameos. They're like unofficial princesses, but from a franchise point of view, they are not. Now, if I had to speculate about this is all purely speculation on my part, but I think this is I'm going to say the beginning of the end, but that implies that Disney's going to like get rid of it quickly. It's the Disney princesses are still going to be around for a few more years, I think. But I do think that Disney is making at least some slight attempt to distance themselves from the princess brand because let's face it, the entire Disney princess franchise, as much as I love all of the movies and as much as a lot of people, as popular as these princesses are, it's also a bit of a controversial franchise, especially like in recent years. And I guess the controversy part of it has to do with how the original Disney princesses that came out, um uh, the ones pre Disney Renaissance were they called they were the classic Disney princess stereotype, the ones who like the ones that like that people on like BuzzFeed and Tumblr are criticizing constantly because they are products of their time. Meanwhile, Disney is putting out newer princess-esque characters who are definitely falling more into a more of like a feminist with more like feminist directed narratives. I think if they get away from the Disney princess label, they might be able to keep up with the rest of society with as little controversy as possible. And I think because of that, they're trying to distance themselves ever so slightly from the Princess franchise, while still kind of holding on to it anyways. Because let's face it, it's a huge cash grab for them.
That makes sense. By the way, since you brought up Disney princesses, that reminded me of something from several years back. There's there was this controversy or kind of intrigue around this ripoff company called Video Brincato. I probably just butchered the pronunciation of that particular company, but they pretty much made a bunch of ripoff movies. They have several cheap knockoffs of Cars, Toy Story. The one that really took off was the ripoff of Ratatouille. I remember
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille, yes. The only reason I know that this stuff exists is because there was a prominent YouTube poop YouTube poop guy that took took the trailer or something from that and just just oh my gosh. Well, anyway, the same production company made this animated series of flash shorts or something like that, trying to bank on the popularity of the Disney princesses. It's pretty much a case like Baby Looney Tunes or something else like that, where they're taking recognizable characters and just sticking them in a school setting.
I mean, isn't that just Ever After High?
I guess just the characters are a bit younger. They look like they're in middle school or elementary school or something here. I just find it funny. I think somebody went as far as uploading a couple of the episodes to YouTube. Might just have to go explore this particular rabbit hole a bit later.
Probably, though it might take a while to find it. Like I was listening to some Disney soundtracks while at work and stuff, and I remember the old internet parody song using Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and I tried to find it, but the original person took it down, and so I had to find someone else who uploaded it. Like Good Morning Internet by Spoonbank. That is internet. That is an internet artifact. Let's see. This person's asking you about the Black Cauldron.
I haven't seen that movie. I'm just going to be completely honest, so I have no answer for that.
Same here. I need to watch it myself.
Come on. Well, I guess I know that if... All right. Well, just, like, the movie is... It's not a musical, so don't expect any music. It's based off of a novel of the same name. And it's also during that weird era when Disney was like, it was like roughly around the same time as the Xerox era, but like they didn't Xerox anything. So they weren't really too high in cash at that point, but what they were able to accomplish was pretty good. And yeah, the Horned King is pretty scary in a sense of he is basically a lich, and yeah, it's like, why are these bandits and thugs working for this dude? He's a fucking skeleton brought to life.
Yeah, I do remember.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
Yeah, the weird thing though is I do recall the Horned King actually appeared in the Hearts. I know Heart House. I told. I don't recall him. Just like as a background cameo character. I don't think they did much with him. I do recall him being like one of the reoccurring extras in that show. Actually, so I guess someone out there somewhere was clearly a fan of the movie and decided that this person is worth drawing and putting into this crossover animated series. So I guess there's that. I don't know.
Especially if it's like a Halloween episode.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw him in the House of Villains, which was the Halloween episode.
I know there was Chernobog.
So, like on the topic of like Disney crossovers, any of you guys keeping up with like the Kingdom Hearts news by any chance?
Not really.
Since I don't have a PlayStation, I don't play the games, but the people I follow do. So when they reblog stuff, I'll see it. The only Kingdom Hearts game I ever played was Chain of Memories, which I still own.
Okay, let me get something straight. I'm actually probably not going to get the new game because I haven't gamed in forever. And I wouldn't think that a single video game that I want justifies me buying the actual PlayStation. And on top of that, I don't game that much. But the fact of the matter is, I was still. Kingdom Hearts came at about the right time for me, so I ended up becoming a fan of the series anyway. So of course I keep up with all the news, even though I'm never going to play another game with them ever again.
I mean, I remember the commercials for the first game when way back in the day, my brother and I were being dropped off at daycare really early in the morning, and the babysitter had the TV on, and sometimes the Kingdom Hearts commercials would appear, and the Simple and Clean song would play. I'm just like, what is this game? Yeah, just imagine little young SR on a couch in a dark room, and then suddenly, when you walk away, you don't hear me say. And I'm just like, Mickey, Donald, who are these characters? What's going on? What is this song? Why will this define me?
Kingdom Hearts, oh dear God, just Kingdom Hearts in general. Even though I love the series to death because it came at the right time for me. And, I am a big fan of Disney. It is such a special game. Like the new gameplay footage features them in the Toy Story world, and holy crap! I never realized how emblematic of classic Americana. Hold on, I never realized how much Toy Story draws on like classic Americana iconography until I saw what Kingdom Hearts did with the movie. They just straight up animate the entire thing up, and it's so weird. I'm not against this by any means. I love the fact that I love the weird cultural change that's going on, but it is bizarre. It is a head trip. They have a fight with a freaking anime girl doll.
And considering you got Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII fighting against Hercules.
Yeah. What else did they do? Oh yeah, the footage. There's everything about the footage. It's weird because you see Buzz and Woody there, and you see hints of like the classic what Toy Story looks like. They have like the cloud wallpaper, and they also have a reference to the little record player that they had in Toy Story 2. But all the toys that they feature in the toy store, someone over at the company like clearly put a lot of their talents to work in like designing all of the environments and all of the extra toys. But this person is also very clearly looking at like modern Japanese toys, because all of the toys in the toy store, they look like Pokemon and Hello Kitty. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, and that's why it's taken like 12 years for Kingdom Hearts 3 to come out, because these people just like painstakingly do all these finer details, and it's like, dude, just do a basic backdrop.
There's clearly a lot of work put in, and I applaud the Kingdom Hearts the team behind Kingdom Hearts for like making something this detailed. Holy crap, is it weird?
I would recommend, there is a podcast called Story Break, and it's a podcast with three Hollywood writers, and they attempt to, base off a premise or a franchise or whatever, they attempt to write a script for either a series or a movie, depending on what they feel like. For instance, the first episode is about Legend of Zelda, and they eventually determined that Legend of Zelda would probably be best as like a TV series, and they write the pilot episode. They have an episode about Kingdom Hearts. They don't start to talk about what they would do, like how they would make the movie, until about halfway through it, because the person that has played the games is trying to explain to the other two writers about the story of the game. And they're just like, okay, it's this, and then this, and then this. And I was like, oh, let me get this straight. So this, and then I'd give it a listen. It's pretty fun. And then, of course, it has the classic line of... Then it's got the classic line of Goofy can fuck whoever.
Goofy has fucked, and he will fuck again.
Yeah, exactly.
He has the canon son.
Yeah, that's the line. Goofy has. That's right. Now I remember the joke that they made is that like the reason why like they like every time like in the background in each of the worlds there's like a kid that looks just like Goofy, and Goofy's just trying to shuffle Sora and Donald out of the area before they sing him.
That's fantastic.
Gorge.
Kingdom Hearts is a mess I've never been able to get into. I had a buddy that was really into it. Tried to explain the plot for it a couple of times, and I could never keep up.
It's like trying to explain the split timeline for Legend of Zelda, but 100 times worse. Even though the split timeline for Legend of Zelda is pretty easy to understand.
Kingdom Hearts lore. What even is Kingdom Hearts lore?
It's all a dream.
Oh.
It's all a dream, but it's not. But it is. But it's not your dream, it's their dream. And you're just a product of their dream. But actually, your dream is of their dream dreaming of someone else's dream. And everybody's name is jumbled around with an X in it.
So an edgy teenager got really drunk one night, wrote a fan fiction, and then just kept adding more and more to it. Like one night they watched Inception, and the other night they were thinking, I don't have enough X's in my username.
Oh, well, hear this.
Considering it's got Mickey Mouse in a dark cloak, wielding a sword with zippers all over the cloak, and Mickey's talking about, like, don't worry, Sora, we'll fight the darkness.
Well, hear this. Some weeb out there got drunk one night, and he is clearly a fan of Kingdom Hearts. So he makes his username. He takes the word killers. He rearranges the words, and he rearranges the letters in the word killers. He adds an X for good luck, and he uses it as his username on like all the forums he goes to. This guy later picks up a successful music career, and now he's actually working on the soundtrack for the third Kingdom Hearts game. Ladies and gentlemen, Skrillex is a Kingdom Hearts fan. Just letting you guys know that.
Wow. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and his name is straight up Killers with the letters rearranged with an X added in. What a weep. I love that. I love that, of course, but oh my god, what a weep. Yeah.
Now it's just making me think of Kingdom Hearts 3 with a Coco world. And one of the parts of the game is at that music concert, which has a cameo by Skrillex.
I think Skrillex would jump at the opportunity to play himself in Kingdom Hearts. Heck, he did that in Wreck-It Ralph also. He didn't play himself, but he provided music, and he has an animated cameo in that.
Totally on board with this. Disney puts Skrillex in Kingdom Hearts 3. I also demand that Sora Goofy, Donald, and Mickey get Iron Man mech suits just because they can. They own the IP for it. Make it happen.
Kind of turning into Patton Oswalt's filibuster from Parks and Rec. New from Kingdom Hearts. Now that Disney owns Fox, the new world, Springfield.
Yes.
Oh dear God, does that mean we're also going to have a Family Guy world?
My life will not be complete until there's some random scene where Sora goes out drinking with not just Homer, but Peter from Family Guy. They all go out drinking.
Now I'm just thinking of Mr. Burns working for Organization 13 and the Heartless.
Yes, yes. I'd actually be.
Smithers, who are those reps that are trying to keep us from stealing the hearts of people?
Well, that seems to be Sora, sir. He's the wielder of the Keyblade.
Sora, young upstart.
Well, no. His game has been in production for 13 years.
Well, then we shouldn't have to worry. Seems to not be able to take things pretty fast.
Just imagine Smithers and Burns and all those ridiculous zippers and belt buckles, and Burns has a random eye patch just because. And they have that pseudo Western anime-esque look like what you get in certain shots on OKKO, or just
Though I'm thinking like the summon for the world would either be Krusty the Clown or Duff Guy.
Oh yeah, Duff Guy. I can't get enough of that wonderful Duff.
Disney, we need a Moe's Tavern somewhere in Disney World just because.
Kristen?
A Moe's Tavern, and it Sora and Bart calling in. Yeah, is there a Seymour there? Yeah, Seymour who? Last name Butts? Let me just check. Seymour Butts! Is there a Seymour Butts? Come on, guys. I want to see more butts. No, thanks, Mo.
Tristan, about the entire Firefly thing? You know what else Disney owns now?
Oh.
Disney owns Ice Age. That's the world I am the most excited for. The Ice Age world.
Mickey Mouse next to Ray Romano. The summon for that world would be Scrat, the squirrel.
Yes. Now I'm just imagining Ice Age 3. There was some crazy rat guy in it. I don't remember who it was, but he wore an eye patch and stuff, and there was some scene near the end where he was riding around on a T-Rex. We need a level where Sora is some kind of prehistoric Ice Age-ified animal, and he's riding around on a T-Rex just because.
It could also be a caveman, but then again, they seem to have forgotten the caveman after the first movie.
Yeah, what's up with that?
That's
then
easy.
again, first one's the only one really worth watching. It's the only one I really distinctively remember anything from. That and the second one was pretty much all about the mammoth meeting another mammoth and their awkward lead up to, hey, let's have sex and get together because we're the only two mammoths left. God, that movie was awkward.
Yeah, Treasure Planet level. Yeah, Treasure Planet level would be great in Kingdom Hearts.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. I was personally hoping for like an Atlantis level. Like in all seriousness, I was hoping for an Atlantis level way back when I was like speculating for what Kingdom Hearts 2 had in store.
Probably never going to see levels for one of those two because they're not commercially viable enough.
Actually, I feel like Disney is sitting on a gold mine with Atlantis. Like if they just like go back at the concept again. Actually, you know what? Here's an idea for Disney. Disney is so obsessed with doing live action remakes of movies that really don't need to be live action. If there's any Disney movie that actually deserves to be live action, something that you could you could put out with a lot of really cool special effects, a lot of really cool steampunk technology. Do a freaking live action Atlantis movie. That actually makes a lot of sense. It's grounded in reality more so than the other stuff they've been trying to do.
Technically, there is a live action Atlantis.
20,000
Stargate Atlantis.
Ooh, bad pun.
I'm kidding, but yeah, that might actually be an interesting project to see take up or that'd be an interesting project to see play out. I would be very disappointed if they didn't at least try to scout the guy that played Daniel Jackson in the original Stargate and the gal that plays Tayla in Atlantis, though. Because Milo is pretty much inspired, or partly inspired, by Daniel Jackson. And then, okay, I'm done.
So the question would be, who would play Vinny? Oh, Danny DeVito for Mole.
I was about to say that.
Terry Crews for Dr. Higgins.
Okay, a Disney movie with Danny DeVito in it. Totally on board.
If they get Rosa from Brooklyn Nine-Nine play the mechanic, that'd be great.
Actually, like the entire thing about like it's probably worth another good thing worth mentioning is that Disney is kind of unintentionally the originator of like steampunk. Like they were the ones who brought to life the live action adaptation of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea,
which I do not recommend in the book. Well, actually, I recommend it in the book, but like get an abridged version because, god damn, does Jules Verne have chapters upon chapters of him having his character describe fish down to the minusculest detail. Like, God, I don't care if this fish has 3 stripes.
So it's like J.R.R. Tolkien having to write 3 or 4 pages about what Bilbo had for lunch on his journey to drop the ring into the volcano.
Yeah, pretty much. It was just like, God, I don't care about the mating habits of these crabs. Get to the giant squid.
Bilbo Baggins had a ham sandwich for lunch. It had just the right ratio of mayonnaise to mustard, and he had premium quality lunch meat.
There's several books I still got to get through. Like, I'm reading through The Hunchback of Notre Dame, 1001 Arabian Nights, Don Quixote, H.P. Lovecraft's work. Oh, H.P. Lovecraft is another one of those authors that I'm just like, just get to the freaking Eldritch horrors. I don't care what about this where this person grew up, and their house, and and what tiles they had.
From a personal point of view, I'd say that it's probably better to listen to Lovecraft as opposed to read it. That's just me, but I've been listening to like audiobooks in the background, and it's so much easier to get through.
I know, but
And
but I bought this $50 book, and it has all of his work in a very nice tentacle-bound book. Ouch.
also watch the live-action Reanimator. It's great.
Yeah, that was a pretty good story.
Well, yeah, Tristan, you are correct. The precursors to include Jules Verne, Edgar Rice, Robert Howard, and other authors. They are proto steampunk, and they are probably the biggest influences on it. When I say that Disney created a steampunk movement, they were the ones who had like the direct involvement. Because the steampunk movement came directly out of the fandom for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. The entire aesthetic was based off that movie. That's what I mean by that. So you are correct. I'm just talking about the literal version of the steampunk fandom and where it came from.
Huh.
The also, by this certain logic, it's worth mentioning that Disney and also Don Bluth kind of sort of invented the furry fandom as well.
Though Don Bluth did take it a bit too far.
Oh dear God! What was that?
Oh
shoot.
no.
Okay, so I can't remember. Okay, it was a musical number from one of the Don Bluth movies. And I think it was one of the ones that most people didn't actually like. I can't remember what it was.
What's the music?
I'm gonna.
Yeah, details.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking for it right now. I'm going to go ahead and look up. Okay. Right now, I am in the Google bar. I am searching Don Bluth inflation fetish.
Thumbelina. No, Swan Princess. It was one of the Swan Princess sequels. And I only know
Bartok the
that
Magnificent, Ludmilla Dragon transformation. That's it.
Yes, and I only know about that because someone posted it on Tumblr, and they're just like, "What the fuck is this?" I'm like, okay, this can't seriously be that bad. Oh God, no! I'm surprised Saberspark hasn't done a video on it.
It's probably on the way, I'm sure.
No! No!
Just, I'm gonna go ahead and link. I found the video. I'm gonna go ahead and link it.
No!
Do not want.
You sure you don't want it? Because I have the link right here.
You know,
And
you know
I
what?
am on.
You know what? Fine. Put it in the description. I know I'd end up looking it up and watching it anyway because I'm
Viewer advisory warning. Not really, because this is a kid's film, but oh my gosh, just watching it, it is baffling.
currently watching it.
You'll have to skip around a little bit. Oh, don't worry, Dylan Triplet. It doesn't.
I mean, like, I'm about to talk.
What?
Are we getting like live feedback from you, Scrooge?
What? Who greenlit this? who greenlit this?
Don Bluth.
Who thought this was a good idea?
Don Bluth.
Osamu Tezuka was a furry fetishist as well.
Yeah,
Like the Astro
those.
Boy creator, and he drew like naked mouse girls.
Tristan R's comment. And this is where the first of the Scaly fandom was first formed.
I feel horrible for the first thing that came to mind while watching the transformation.
Bowsette.
Yes.
What a way to tie it all back. On a more wholesome note.
I can't. I just.
On a more wholesome note, there was an OKKO reference in a recent episode of Craig of the Creek.
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it.
I broke Scrooge. Oh my god! I'm so sorry. I broke Scrooge.
Scrooge.exe has stopped working.
Okay, so an Yzma-looking lady transformed into a Bowser-like dragon. I guess we know what Yzma would look like if she wore the Peachette crown.
Circling it back to Bowsette.
Okay. We gonna go back to the KO and Craig of the Creek thing. I'd rather talk about that.
If anyone hasn't seen Craig of the Creek, I would highly recommend it. It's very good.
I need to. I've actually not been watching too much TV recently, which is terrible for me being on this podcast, but I need to. I've been really busy with work, but that's just me.
I usually put them on in the background, but
the comments. Why? Just why?
Well, they're gonna have a Craig of the Creek bomb next week or this week. Oh, Del the Funky Homo Sapien.
Wait, he's in like an episode of Craig of the Creek?
Yep, the kid from 3030.
Cool. I only know him from his great work with gorillas, but that's cool.
Yeah, he plays a robot boy named Deltron who claims to be from the year 3030, where his robot superiors are oppressive against his kind. Deltron asks the game for help in getting more music to power him and save the future.
Oh wait, that was also him? I know that. I know Deltron 3030. That was like a band I used to listen to.
Oh, that's probably where the writers got the name for him in the episode.
Oh, I'm more familiar with the Funky Homo Sapien than I thought then. Because Deltron 3030 is literally Del the Funky Homo Sapien and Kid Koala. I did not realize that was the same person. But no, I guess I'm more familiar with him than I thought, because I did listen to Deltron 3030.
Well, then I would recommend the Kid from 3030 episode of Craig of the Creek.
Sweet, I'll check that out.
Craig of the Creek. And I didn't realize that Terry Crews played the dad. It took me a couple episodes. I was like, what is that?
Good night, Dylan.
What is that? Why does he sound familiar? Oh. Of course, at the same time, I was also watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Okay, that's why this episode doesn't look familiar. It's not up on... Okay. Yeah, there's There's an episode recently, Power Punchers, that's basically a reference to Smash Brothers and Street Fighter and those kind of fighting games, and it was pretty funny.
Nice.
I just love the nerd. Like, one of the nerds is helping Craig train in the game, which in the game, like the character selection, KO is one of the characters. And he's known as Kid Boxer. And
That's pretty good.
and the nerd at one point is like, all right, Craig, now I'm going to teach you about the most important thing about these kind of games. Frame data. Frame data. Oh, how you constantly don't mean a thing to me. I mean, I'll just play Smash Brothers and I'll pick characters and I'll learn everything I need to do with whatever character. But I don't care if this character like starts and stops their animation on this frame and if they're vulnerable in this frame. I just fight and I have fun.
All right, probably gonna wrap things up for tonight. I'm still kind of reeling from that horrible thing I watched earlier. Well, good night, everybody. I hope you don't have nightmares about scalies.
And tomorrow begins the month of Halloween. And Inktober.
Fun stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that because I'm going to be doing the Goretober thing. Bye, guys.
Good night.
Aloha.